Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Thursday. That's right. That's a Thursday evening. Special night, guys. We got a special show for you tonight here, man. I would like to welcome back to the show right here on Tejano Time Podcast. A great friend, great guy, great artist, musician, all the way around. We're talking about, I believe he's a songwriter as well. Huh? But he's all of the above, man. I mean, he's an all around guy. Does a lot of great things out there for the music industry, and very, very talented at that. But let's welcome him back to the show right here, Mr. Xian Eric. His friends know him as X. Welcome back to the show, my brother. Right here. Let me get this off. There we are. All right, there you
Hey,
go.
what's good, brother?
What's good, man? It's good
Good
to
to see
have you
you.
back on the show.
Absolutely, man. I feel like we're old friends.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. My old friend Keith. Great to see you, brother. Right on.
Good to see you, I mean,
Hmm.
it's been a great ride. I had an opportunity to come back to come out and check him out recently here locally here in the city. He had a gig and wonderful show. And if you
Thanks,
guys
man.
haven't seen him, we'll get some details and stuff like that of some upcoming shows he's got as well around the city throughout the show today. So it's there. But again, man, it's good to see you. Glad to have you back on the show. Doing a lot of great things right now. New music. There's a lot of things going on with you in your life right now as well. And so we definitely want to get to all the scoop as to all that. But before we get to the new music, tell us a little bit about what's going on with you right now.
Life is good, brother. I'm moving and shaking. I'm staying busy with. Now I was going to say writing songs, but the songs they write themselves.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is all, all you have to do is live and then document your experiences. Um,
Yeah.
And when you absorb all that information, when you're sitting around or you're sitting and you're thinking about those particular moments, and you decide that you want to share them, you put them in song form, and uh, that may take a little while, but lyrically, you know, just pay attention to what's going on and write it down.
Yeah.
So it's not like even though I don't really so much focus on what I'm not doing or what I'm not trying to do,
Hmm.
I'm just documenting, uh, my life and one of the latest songs that I've written talks a whole lot about that, very intimately actually. It's probably the most revealing song,
Hmm.
um, and we'll go into that here in just a bit. I'm sure you'll bring it up at some point.
Yes, yes,
But
most definitely.
yeah,
So the last time you were on the show, X, you were working on new music. What has changed the most for you since then? What would you say?
you know, I think with anything, something that my dad used to say, you know, um, he would always talk talk about the fact that change is inevitable. Um, that's not how he would say it. He would say nothing's forever, boy. That's what he would say.
Hmm.
But what he meant was is change is inevitable, and you have to embrace it. Change for the good, change for the bad, for the better, or for not quite so good. And there's a lesson in there um, uh, every time, and I would say 99.9% of the time, take it that way so that I can embrace what's going on, learn something from it, and be a better person for it, and then provide a better service to people that are counting on me, which is my family.
Right, right.
And that's what we're doing here. Before I had said, I'm making lemonade. There's a couple of things that that I'm good at least, um, competent, to some degree. I'll say, in all fairness,
Hmm.
music is one of them.
Yeah.
So I've elected to make lemonade with what I'm good at, which is music. And all the kids are in college. Well, my oldest boy is actually in flight school, and he called me the other day. He said, "Dad, I can't. Let's go see a movie. I can't. I'm not going to go to class today." And I said, "Well, why?" He said, "Because the weather's bad." So that doesn't make any sense. He goes, "Well, I was going to fly today, and there was a possibility of turbulence, and I'm not quite skilled enough to work my way out of it." I was like, "Thank God, thank God you didn't get up in the air today." because to me, my son is, um, I mean, be my he'll always be my baby. He's a big old hairy chested man now,
Uh,
and I forget that sometimes. I say he's 23. Yeah, he's a man, right? And he's taller than I am because everyone is. But I'm just so very proud of him. But he elected to go. He chose to go to flight school. And my oldest daughter, she graduated from up in Stephenville about a year ago. She just had a baby, little Presley, my granddaughter. And then my two daughters that are younger than her, they're still in college. They're at Sam Houston and A&M. And my youngest boy, he'll be graduating high school here in a couple months or a few months, and then it'll be technically an empty nest at that point, but certainly not in my heart. That's impossible.
yeah, yeah, definitely. All about the family for sure. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about that. It's
yeah.
always number one in my book as well.
Mm.
You got to be, that way, and just about anybody. I can't speak for everyone, but yeah, I know seen a lot of things that you post as well, and in the past. I mean, it's always about family, and that's a great thing right there, and
Sure.
great family, and congratulations too. Also, so that makes you grandfather, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So that's a
But
good
but
thing.
as you can see, someone asked me, with her mother as well. And she calls me Jimenez, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my name. My name's
Yeah.
Jimenez. Um, and she said, Jimenez, you feel old? And I said, no, no. Actually, I feel more alive than ever. I suppose I could shave the beard, uh, or even color it, which I don't. If you do that, hey, right on. But that's just not something that I would personally do. I celebrate this. I let my flag fly, and
Hmm.
by flag I mean this. I let it
Yeah.
fly. This beard represents um, miles and miles of experience,
Hmm.
good and bad. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I suppose it would be all good. Um, if I was in a room and someone said, "Hey, your grandfather's here," people would assume that it was me. You know, and since that's what I am. I'm a granddad. You know,
Awesome.
and I had still do, but my grandfather's passed. I had so much uh, respect for my grandfather. He was my first and probably greatest mentor. He was a fiddle player, a very gifted one at that, and of his particular generation. He had brothers and sisters, and everybody was a musician. But he was considered, and I think I've told this story before. He was considered the maestro
Okay.
of his generation. Um, my mother's generation, that would be they called my uncle that, and that's her youngest brother, and he's still out there gigging. He's about 20 years older than I am, but he's out there. He's always sending me posts. Hey, son, look where I'm at. I'm like, oh, I've played there. He's like, I'll never. Why don't you come out? I'm like, well, I got a gig deal. Yeah, yeah. I guess we
Uh,
all do, right?
hmm.
But and then of my generation, that finger has been pointed at me. And there's a lot of responsibility that comes behind that. So I won't confirm or deny that.
Yeah.
As
Of
far as
course.
owning that title. But and the generation after me, I would say that would be my cousin's son, who is now. Uh, I believe, if I got the information right, I believe he's the one of the guitar players for Hellstar, which is a metal
No.
band, right?
Hmm.
But certainly to get a gig like that, um, to get a gig like that, you have to be very good at what you do. This is an international level deal, and
Hmm.
I would say my second cousin is doing. I know my cousin very well, And to say that he's proud of that is a severe understatement.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm proud of that too. You know, keeping the family trade going. You
Great. Yep. Going for sure. For sure. For sure. So, let's talk now, Eric. X. Everybody calls him
know?
X. Everybody knows X. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
probably thrown off out there. We're not, but
yeah,
yes, Jimenez.
yeah,
But there's a lot of people that will recognize you, by that name and whatnot. But
yeah,
let's talk a little bit, brother, about music and the stuff that you got out currently right now. Where do most of your ideas come from? Of course, I know they come from. Most of your stuff is the life experiences, like you mentioned early on as well, like that. But melodies or lyrics first, and when it's time to put your songs together.
Yeah, hey, I lost you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, am I loud enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I lost you. I guess my microphone cut. I can hear you from the
Oh,
speaker.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I
Let me
got you.
turn this a little bit for a second. Excuse me, guys. Okay. Your question was uh, uh, talk about how I create the songs. I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Say that again.
Yeah, most of the songs or the song that you have out right now, and some of the new stuff right now. Let's talk
Mhm.
about Firewater for. We'll use that not as an example. This is a new song that
Yeah.
you do have out right now as well. But but most of your ideas when it's time to put some music together, write a song or whatnot. Most of what you like you mentioned early on are come from life experiences.
Mhm.
But is it melodies or lyrics? What do you put together first when it's time to actually sit down and work on a song?
Well, I was saying a minute ago is you live and then you document that experience. You lay it down in poetry or lyrical form.
Hmm.
And it's not an impression of what anyone else is doing. It's just a very creative, original thing that happens to just you, and that's the truest form of songwriting. I've had people in the past, artists in the past, have come to me and said, "Hey, can you write me a song about whatever the case may be?" And my answer to that is certainly I can. I mean, that's what I do. But what I would rather write a song about is whatever story you have to tell me right now about whatever experience that you've experienced.
Hmm.
What hurts? Nothing. Okay, what makes you happy? Something. You know,
Something, yeah.
what makes you angry? What makes you sad? You know, what makes you excited? Whatever it is. What did you see today that had a profound effect on your mood? Whatever it may be. And then we take it from there, and we write the song together. For myself, it's the same thing. That my songs write themselves. Um,
Yeah.
as you know, I like to talk a lot. I do that. You can take whatever story I tell, take it and then just make it rhyme, and there's a song.
There's a song,
But
right?
yeah, but as far as melody goes, I would generally if I'm hearing something, I'll go over to the piano. Um, I'll find that one interval that's prominent in that melody, and I'll find it, and then I'll discover what chord it is. And generally, generally, whatever chord it is, it's always generally going to be, G, D, and C, maybe any major or E minor, um, or you know, a variation of those, or if it's capo or whatever the case may be, right? But one thing that a friend of mine up in Nashville had told me, a while back. I'm not going to tell you who it was because you know who it is, and it's unbelievable. But he said, uh, I asked him what his secret, because before he became who he is, he was a very well respected songwriter and wrote songs for a lot of the people that I'm a huge fan of,
Mm.
which I was starstruck when I met him. And I said, "What's your secret?" And he said, "It's really simple." He said, uh, he said three chords and the truth. And
Wow.
yeah, yeah, three chords and the truth. And I thought, there's got to be more to it than that. But that's not what I
Yeah.
said. That's just what I thought, you know. Um, but sitting down and documenting things that happen, I realized that there's a lot of truth to what he said. And
Mm.
some of my best stuff is three chords. Even when you hear Firewater, now it doesn't sound like three chords. It doesn't, because I used inversions and a lot of color in my chords. And when I'm feeling something in my studio, and I can be in my studio all night and
Mm.
all day, sitting there in my underwear if I want to, because it's my studio. The budget is not an issue because
Yeah.
you know it's my stuff. But you know when I would buy things, it generally wasn't TVs or cars, something like that. It was always some type of tool that would help me better my ability to document my art. You know, and that's what I did with my place. So now I can sit in there and be as loud as I want because it's soundproofed.
Yeah.
Write and record all day and night long when I'm available to do so, and that's what I do. And a lot of times, exactly what I'm hearing in my head or in my heart, it's documented that way, and it comes out that way. And I think, and I'll have to say, be honest with you, Firewater by far is one of those songs. And it's
Mm.
an extremely lyrically revealing uh, song because it's about my personal experience with alcohol.
Yeah.
And um, I think a very bad quality when it comes to alcohol is a high tolerance and in a good mood. Yeah, I was one of those people that would have a few drinks, and by few, you know what I mean by that,
Yeah.
and be more productive. I would
Mm.
be more. I would be more tolerable. I would be easier to be around, more social, and sometimes, so I've been told, more creative. And because of that fact, uh, I didn't have a reason to stop. My daughter was small. She's a freshman in college now, but she must have been, I don't know, maybe six.
Wow.
And she said one morning I drove home from Dallas. I think I did. Had a gig up there, or Oklahoma City. Drove in, drove straight from the stage after we loaded up, straight to the front door. Got out. You know, time to go do Sunday stuff. Go to the zoo and do all the things. Yeah, that I missed, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, now that they're
Yeah.
grown up. She said, "Dad, you smell like beer." Right. Well, I didn't drink beer. I'm not a beer drinker, but I suppose she meant I smell like alcohol.
Like alcohol. Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That was it. That was
Yeah.
it. It changed my life that day.
Change your life. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say that uh, firewater meaning uh, alcohol, you know, is what I'm writing about, and which is, when I use uh, uh, flames in my artwork, or when I use uh, that type of thing, it's referring to the story of adversity. I'm always feel, the devil's always lurking.
Mm-hmm.
Devil lurks
Yeah.
outside the door, and if there's any bit of virtuosity in you, he wants that. So he's going to come after you. How is he going to get to you? He's going to get to you through alcohol, any kind of quick dopamine fix. He's going to get it through. When I was younger, it was alcohol, women, uh, even an overindulgence in certain types of foods. You think sugary or fat or anything, and it would make
Right.
you very unhealthy. And uh, and 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 I've obviously, we talked about this before, and we'll get to it. But part of my purpose, I think, certainly my objective, and the way that I exist, is to help people uh, uh, come to the realization that you don't have to be 21 to be in good shape. You just don't. You know, I would
Mm-hmm.
say that when I was 21 and I was in good shape, it was because I was 21, because I was doing all the things and it didn't have any effect on me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older and I was doing the same things, and I was getting way out of shape. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, my dad actually called me out on it. One of the things I loved about him is, if you truly love somebody, you're going to shoot straight.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to, you know. It was, one of those get your head out of your butt stories, and you're better than this kind of thing.
Right.
Whereas someone else who was just uh, around as a glorified acquaintance would be like, oh, you look fine. Or
Yeah.
when you're playing the band, oh, you guys sounded fine, and you didn't, because
Right.
sometimes, this is casi nunca, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't sound good. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, and when so and so says, "Oh, you sounded fine. Don't worry about it." No one can tell. That's not really your friend. You know,
Hmm.
a straight shooter. One of my friends, if and you met one the other night. You sat right next to us, and you met
Hmm.
the other one, which was with John Flores. I call him Flowers, by the way. That's his
Yeah.
nickname.
I remember them. I remember
If I
him.
want to know, yeah, if I want to know the truth about anything, you know, I ask him and he'll shoot straight. This is what happened. You don't know, and you didn't realize this, but this is what happened. I'm up there doing my set, and by the way, I was inside as opposed to being outside on the big stage because it was raining really bad, and they
Right.
didn't want to cancel the gig. They were like, "Well, just come inside and do the gig by yourself, and set up your acoustic guitar, and we'll put you in the corner. You can still play, because people are going to come out. They're expecting to see you." And uh, sure, I'll play in your backyard. I don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to sing, and you guys are going to cut me a check. I'm still to this day, that blows my mind. It
Yeah.
blows my mind, and all the bills are paid, and I have all the stuff that I need, and I don't like to not be working. So if I can gig 7 days a week, twice a day, I would do it. And some weeks are like that, and most aren't. You know.
Hmm.
Um, but Flowers walked in. I was playing. He's got his phone synced up to my mixer. Uh, so he walks in and he listens for 10 seconds. He heard that the sound was off. So without saying a word, he just picked up his phone. He dialed it in because he's connected to my mixer, right? He dialed it in just right, the way that he believes that it should sound. He's a sound guy also.
Hmm.
Didn't say anything. So I get off the stage and I go and I sit with y'all for a bit. And then I went over to say hi to him after that, right before I went back on stage. He's like, "Hey, I fixed your sound." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, it was off." And by off, he doesn't mean that it sucked. That's not what he meant. He just meant that he expects more from me when he hears me play. Because I thought from where I was at, it sounded fine, but I would say it was probably just a little off. But he fixed it, and it was great after that, according to him. Right.
Hmm.
So someone like that, and
Right.
I have several friends that are that way. If they're not telling you the truth uh, about the things that are going to help you be better, so that you can do those things to provide a better service to the people that are counting on you, and then they're not your friend. And
Yeah.
I'm
Straightforward.
blessed to have people around me that are like that, for sure.
Yeah. Very awesome. That is awesome. Good deal right there. And I had an opportunity to meet Gilbert as well, who was sat next to us
Yeah,
there as well. Another great guy
super
as
good
well.
dude. Yeah,
Super good dude, man. Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing. So, and again, we'll get to some dates here shortly. También, if you guys are, tuning into the show right here, make sure you guys share the live as well. But if you're tuning in, yeah, share the live, and we'll have some information as to where he'll be playing. Before the end of the show, we'll recap on that, or we'll talk about that. We'll get to those bullet points. But new music you just dropped, Firewater, which you just talked about there just a little bit right now. There was a story behind the song itself, which you also touched on as well. Is
yeah.
there anything else that you want to add to that story, or to when it came about to when you got the song and you wanted to sit down and actually do the song? Is there more to the story on this
Well,
this song?
I would say, in short, that the devil came down to Texas and got his butt whooped again. So I overcame it. And I just wrote a story about it. I know some people, a young lady up in North Carolina who's spinning my music.
Hmm.
She spun the song and she dealt with something similar to it. And she called me directly. I didn't know her, but she loved the song, and she called me up, and she told me who she was, from what radio station, and she just wanted to thank me for submitting my music, because I did. And I was lucky enough for them to start to put it, the program director to put it in a rotation immediately, and And
Awesome.
I always include my lyrics. And so she read the lyrics and she heard the song and she immediately became attached to it because she could relate to the song. And I think that a lot of people that are in our industry as musicians or radio DJs or anybody artistic, really,
Hmm.
for whatever reason, we see the world with a magnifying glass. And sometimes the things that hurt you are amplified because of that. And one of the adverse effects of that is it can sort of push you to do things such as drinking, and that's what happened to her. And she thanked me for writing a song that she can relate to, our story, and I said, thank you for having a story that that makes me feel like I'm not the only person that's been through something like this.
Hmm.
And the outcome is positive because I would say, I haven't eaten a grain of sugar or a sip of alcohol in, I don't know, 15 years, however long it's been. I'm not counting. When someone says, I've been sober for, 5 years or whatever, if it makes you good to reflect on that, absolutely. It's like with a diet. And I know I'm long-winded, but I'll shorten this. If someone says, yeah, if someone says, hey, I'm doing the X plan, how long does the diet last? And of course, my response is, Jen, you've heard me say this before, is I'm so glad you asked me that question because it's not a diet.
Exactly.
It's a plan.
Yeah.
It's not called the X diet. It's called
Yep.
the X plan. Now, which is the it's indefinite. Um, it's indefinite. There's no beginning or end. I mean, you just change the way that you exist,
Hmm.
and it does work. You looked in the mirror.
Yes. Yes. And guys, if
Guys,
you
if y'all don't
guys,
know this, I have to give props to Keith. He's such a good dude. He does a lot for the Tejano community. And he always makes me feel welcome when I'm on the show, and I thoroughly appreciate that. Um, but I just want you to see, just take a look at him, what he's accomplished over the past however many months it's been. I don't even know.
it's yeah, it's I would say probably about now. It's probably my 12th month, 11th, 12th month now.
Uh,
Yeah, I believe it was early last year, February, January, March. I want to say it was in March.
mhm,
Sometime in March last year is when I started the 28-day plan. And I felt so good after the 28 days that I kept it going,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
I just, it was just amazing, and I started to feel better, you know. I mean, just at a month into it, and then 2 months into it, and you're shedding pounds, you're eating clean was the most important thing, and you just felt different. You didn't feel sluggish. I didn't feel sluggish. I mean, my whole thing my whole entire waking up in the morning. When I woke up, sometimes you get up and you don't even want to get the heck out of bed. At times, what I mean.
Right.
This was different. I got up like a brand new baby. Just
Yeah.
walked right out. And it's a great
Well,
feeling, guys.
you're less of a person physically, so it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
physically easier to get up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I haven't checked the count yet, but or the I've lost over say just put it at over 70 pounds. I know it's between 70, 75, 73, something like that, but since last year. And that's to me that's a huge accomplishment. And I owe it all to X here who introduced me to his plan. It was tough. It was very tough, going into it, and 2 weeks into it, and 3 weeks into it. I'm like, okay, is this gonna work for me? Am I gonna be able to? And then once you got to that 1 month,
Uh-huh.
I continued to do it, and
Sure.
that's and until this day today, and it's wonderful. It's great. You know what I mean? So, I love it. I'm hungry for more. When you start seeing the change, it's just a great feeling, guys, out there. So,
Sure.
man, I'm sure he's got information posted up. But there's something that I had read across recently too. Also, X. On you were going to, I would say, what is it, January? Well, it was sometime in March 25th. You were going to announce some type of deal. Was it I don't know what it was on the 25th of this month.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
sure
a
what it was, but I was going to question you on that to see what.
yeah. Well, now the X plan is available to very select clients,
Cool.
and it has been, and what and I offer. Um, Basically a diet plan like you're on, but I also now offer a fitness course. A lot of times, and I would say most of the time, and I know this from back in the day when oh gosh, when I first departed from Fiat the first time, the very first job that I actually got when I finally had to get one, I was selling gym memberships, right? But I'd sell gym memberships, but I was also a personal trainer at the same time, and then I was teaching Taekwondo at the YMCA. So I ended up doing all those same things at that gym. So I clocked out as a selling gym memberships, and I would
Hmm.
train people, or then then I would teach a class, mostly their kids, right?
All right.
Back then, and I learned that January 1st uh, was our best time to sell gym memberships because everybody makes that New Year's resolution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody does it. But here's the problem: is they want to do it, but they don't necessarily know how to do it. So uh, the crowd would dissipate by March. It would be right back down to where it was, before December, right? Um, what I'm doing now is not only the diet plan as to what you eat and what you don't, like I did for you, but also a fitness course. And a couple of my clients, what I do is I give them uh, DVD level video quality workouts, and they're very short,
Mhm.
but they are effective. And it's 4 workouts per week for within that 28-day uh, time frame, with some rest days in between, right? Along with the diet. And it's me, it's me doing the workouts. And all I do is follow along. It's the very
Mhm.
specific workouts customized for that particular client. Right? I know we're talking about fitness, guys, but we'll get back to the music in a moment. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, but
Um, but we're talking about feeling good and how to do it. And listening to music is certainly, hands down, one of the best ways to feel better. But if you want to feel better in other ways, so many people say, I would. A lot of men say this. A lot of male clients. I love my family. I would die for them. Certainly, I think that most men would. But would you live for them? Would you live your best life for them? Your kids know when you're tired. They know when you don't feel good, right?
Mhm.
They know when you're sluggish. They know
Yeah.
when you're underweight or overweight. They know when you're out of shape. They know when you're struggling. Why not make the best version of yourself for them? And that's what the X Plan is all about. I say the challenge, 28-day challenge, and I just told you this earlier, what that actually means. 28-day challenge doesn't mean that it ends at 28 days.
All right.
No, that's not what it means. It means that when you get to the 28th day and you feel so good, the challenge is to stop doing it. That's the
Hmm.
hard part. If you're
Yeah.
doing something that has completely changed how you feel about yourself, why would you stop
Yeah.
if it makes you feel better about yourself? Right.
Very true. Yeah.
So that's what that name actually means.
Hmm. There you go. For
Yeah.
everybody out there that's tuned in, yes, for sure. So, and look him up, man. He's on the YouTube channel as well. I know he's got some info there for you. What handle are you on? I know you've got a few YouTube handles out there. One for your music,
It,
obviously.
it's a few. Just type in my name and all the stuff comes up. But the announcement was to make what I'm doing not available to one client at a time. I'm going to make it available on my website and through an app, so that with a subscription, you'll be able to access the diet plans, the videos, and everything that will help you reach your particular fitness goals. And there'll be testimonials on there from people that I've helped, as well as mine. I'm 56 years old, and I'm in the same shape I was when I was 21. Although it's a lot harder than it was back then. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
But it's not hard uh, as hard as I thought that it would be. Just had to cut out all the fun stuff that was fun then. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine power drinking now.
Uh,
I'd rather
I know, right?
Netflix and chill. You know, if it was an alternative. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Wow.
So,
So yeah, there you go. Look him up, guys. All his info will come out for you right there, and stay tuned for that. Info he's got to be releasing very soon. Website, all the details, all that. Give him a follow there on his YouTube channel, his handle and whatnot. Look him up, and let's play the brand new tune that you got out right now for everybody, because I know everybody's waiting for some music out there.
yeah.
Brand new song that's been out not too long, but it's fire. But let's play the song, and we'll come back and talk just a little bit more about the song when we get back, because I know there's something else that you want, and I know you have an instrument there. You've got a guitar there. You want to play it as well.
Oh yeah. There's.
You want to do that first?
Yeah. There's always time for that.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna hit the song right quick, and "Firewater," guys, is the name of the tune, and it's out. It's available on all streaming platforms. So if you like what you hear, go and check it out, man. It's available. Add it to your playlist. But we're gonna play it for you right here, right now. Okay. Once again, it's out there and it is available. And check this one out. We'll be right back right here with some more Xian and X, guys. You know him as X. All right. So we'll be right back here. Check it out.
I walk the shoulder road with shadows in my mind, chasing ghosts of laughter, leaving heartache behind. The whiskey river flows through memories everywhere, but every step I took just brings the past so ever near. Oh, fire, water, you burn like the sun. You lit up the dark, but you left me undone. In the glow of your flame, I forget who I am, but the ashes remind me of a life I've never found. Goodbye, fire, water. Late nights, neon lights called me by name, singing songs of freedom, but it never felt that way. I danced with the demons, Lord, I found my way, but every drop I swallowed took my peace away. Oh, fire, water, you burn like the sun. You lit up the dark, but you left me undone. In the glow of your flame, I forget who I am, but the ashes remind me. Lord, forgive me if you can. Goodbye, fire, water. Now I'm searching for silence in the morning's embrace, trying to find the courage to stand in my space. With a heart full of scars and a mind full of dreams, I'm learning that healing is more than it seems. Well, I raise an empty glass to the battles that I fought, to the lessons I've learned and the love I could have lost. Goodbye, fire, water, I'll rise from my fall. I've broken from these chains and I'm answering my call. Fire, water, you burn like the sun. You lit up the dark, but you left me undone. In the glow of your flame, I forget who I am, but the ashes remind me. Please each new beginning, I find hope in the steam. Fire or water, you're fading like a night in the day. Thank you for the shadows, 'cause now I found my way.
There you have it right there. Fire water, guys. Yes, it's when you think you're on the radio. You know what I mean? Yes, that is the brand new track right there that's out and available to stream, guys. It's on all streaming platforms. Firewater is the name of the tune right there, and it is Sean Eric band, guys. So go out there and stream it. Why not? Some good stuff, my brother.
And certainly, if it's something that you can relate to, it's just lyrically, it's part of my, I guess you could say, soundtrack, or testimonial rather, or my testimony. And you know, that was once upon a time, and now it's not so much. And my inspiration comes from a lot of places, and that one there came from a moment that I said goodbye to any type of poison that I was gonna put in my body, and yeah, part of the fitness journey wasn't necessarily all about fitness. It was about sobriety.
Yeah. Wow. So, what would you say would be the most challenging part of staying consistent in today's country scene, or just in the music business in general? I would say.
Right. Well, I think what all of us, and by that I mean anybody who's in the music business, whether it be me or you or anybody. I think consistency, absolutely, continuity is everything. Now, some people are able to stay motivated to be consistent. Okay, most people, I would say, to some degree, and however you want to calculate it, to stay consistent, you don't necessarily. You're not able to count on motivation. Here's why: because that comes and goes. The only thing that you can count on is discipline. You decide what you want to do, and you decide what you want to do. Make that your target, and every day, especially when you don't want to. Here's what happens when you do something that you don't want to. When you do something that sucks, or when you do something that's difficult. The reason why you're doing that, whether it be working out, writing a song, booking gigs, social, whatever the case may be, right? When you do it, especially when you don't want to, that makes you way better at it.
Yeah.
It makes you when things are difficult. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. And one person that taught me that. That's actually Nietzsche. Nietzsche is the philosopher, but I learned that from Louis Xian, from Fievre, which I worked side by side by him forever.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he taught me was two of the things was that which does not kill you will make you stronger, and the other one was life is what you make it. If it's not good, it's because you made it that way. If it's great, it's because you made it that way. Don't let life happen to you. Although when it happens to me, I write it down and I get a good song out of it.
Oh yeah.
But but don't let life happen to you. Just make it exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah. Very, very true. Very true. So you have a piece of equipment right next to you, don't you? A few, maybe more.
Oh yeah.
Than,
Well, we were talking about how the inspiration for songs, and our conversation, I wanted to mention how sometimes the inspiration for uh, the music, comes from within. And my experience with Fiona was uh, a very, very uh, deep, fun-filled, with good and bad times, life learning experience. I learned a lot from that time back then.
Hmm.
Those guys are still moving and shaking. There's two teams now. I
Yeah.
suppose more to go around, I guess you could say.
All right.
Both spreading the love. But one of the songs that I have, 45, uh, was that song's about, you don't really anticipate falling in love with a woman and then, making that many babies with her, but when you do, if you're someone like myself, you write a story about it. So lyrically, lyrically, I'm thinking, I'm in the bus and we're driving to to Oklahoma. This was with my band, uh, and we're doing just some all honky tonk over there. I don't know what it was. And I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting on on when the babies were little,
Hmm.
um, and as soon as I would leave the house, you know, I'm going to do this show where people are partying and they're drinking and there's all kinds of fun to be had, and I don't deny that at all because it's a great time. But I just miss the kids, I miss doing the family stuff, and so you start writing a song about it, and I'm writing the lyrics, and the music's not coming to me, and I'm sitting there and picking around on my guitar, which I always do in the bus, and I'm trying to figure out how I can make these three chords work, and just kind of noodling, and what my hands kept doing was
Yeah.
right. We all
Uh-huh.
know what that is.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I was there when it was being recorded, by the way.
Yes, he was.
So yeah, I was. Uh, yeah, all those songs, all those songs hit, and they weren't written for the purpose of hitting. Those songs they hit because they were just real songs about what we were all feeling as a group at that time back then. I'm going into Field's music, by the way.
Yeah.
So that kept coming to my hands, and I'm thinking, uh, man, it's just so good. It's just so good. The moment that I went like this, you knew what song it was.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of songs by a lot of artists, fewer than more, but there's a lot of songs that just have that impact we had. Or when I say we, I mean when I was with you. A lot of songs that would start and just have that particular effect on you. Um, it was just it would thinking about it now when you hear it, it just creates nostalgia. It takes you back to the day that we all talk about back in the day.
Hmm. Right.
Um, uh, it takes you back to that time because that music was part of people's their soundtrack, their weddings, their quinceañeras, their graduations, funerals, their divorces,
Hmm.
that yeah, yeah, any kind of celebratory event that sitting by a bonfire out in the field somewhere in West Texas, while they're drinking beer with their buddies and about some female that they fell in love with for the first time, and Eres mi primer amor comes on, and people tell me this story, and they're like, and they're talking about the way that I play the sax,
Hmm.
and in the studio on that recording. And if you go on YouTube, there are millions and millions, literally millions of strings on that song.
Hmm.
And so when I run into someone who knows me from that, and it's actually fairly seldom, to be honest with you, because um, you know when they come to see me, it's so funny because they'll be in front of the stage and they finally realize that they know me from back then, and they're singing my songs or in the front, they're singing along, whatever the case is, and they kind of look and they go, wait a minute, and then they'll realize, 'cause I'm hiding behind. I say hiding behind the spirit. I'm not hiding at all, but this is who I am. but it's not like I look the exact same way that I did back then. I still have long hair, but it's filtered. I'd say it's filtered. But I'm plucking around on the song, and I'm trying to come up with the melody and the music and whatnot. And this is for the song 45. And as I'm doing that, I'm just picking around, all through the scale. And I did a run that just came out of my hands based on the song El Amor Se Acaba, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went from 2 up to that run. Then I went, it's been a couple of years since I first saw you under that East Texas sky. 20 miles down the road, I'm already missing home. But we're coming right up on that interstate side before we start this ride. And it goes into the rest of the song, right? But the inspiration for that, the guitar part, was because I was picking around on a song that I was part of, 30 some odd years ago, or how long it was, 33, whatever it was. I don't remember how long ago it was. A song that I was part of that had a profound effect on me, because when you're playing your music and you're looking out at however many thousand people, on occasion. One of the biggest shows that we did, I remember this, it was early 90s, and it was the Southern Star Amphitheater. And it was us with Selena, and I believe it wasn't Michael Salgado. I don't remember who the third person was. I just know that he was good and had a lot of people following him. I don't remember exactly who it was. But we were playing that song, and I remember, and I'm doing my thing, twirling my trumpet, some suspenders that was supposed to be a vest. The way I rolled back then, and I'm, and we're doing the song, and the song starts, and Lewis and I just started getting after it, full blast at our peak at that particular time. And Pete starts singing, and we're just doing it, full blast. And I look over at the side, and right there at the corner of the stage, just behind the curtain, about this much, Selena was standing there, and she was dancing along with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was close to the time where she was close to her peak as well. And we were just up there just celebrating the moment, whether they would have been, and there was 35,000 people there that day, 35,000 people, the Southern Star Amphitheater. And we had set the record at that particular place on that day. We were just celebrating the moment. If there would have been 10 people there, to some degree, we still would have done the same thing. We were just loving it, And that song, that's what that song reminds me of, is that moment, because that's the song that we were playing. So that has always stuck with me. So it did have an inspiration on that particular song, which is called 45, musically at least.
Mm-hmm.
The story is just about me leaving the house and wanting to come back, and the things that you do between here and Oklahoma City, going through Huntsville and Centerville, and then Wilmer, Corsicana, Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Edmonton, and then Tulsa, Oklahoma. Every stop you make, and then you drive back, and you meet so many people and have so many cool experiences with them. And that's what that song's about. I don't know if you're gonna play that one, but that song's called 45, about the of course, Interstate 45, because that's where all the fun happened. That's where the magic happened.
Yeah. That's another one of his tracks, guys, right there, that you'll be able to get also on his platforms. I mean, on the streaming platforms. It's available. It's got a lot of great music out there. And there's a lot of, most of them, like I said, the majority of those are life experiences. A lot of things that he's experienced and written about and whatnot on most of his music. So go out there and check it out, man. You're not getting some type of music that's out there that are just duds. I mean, this is some real strong music, strong lyrics that he puts his stuff together here, man. We are talking about Xian Eric, the Xian Eric band at that, man. If you guys haven't seen him live, man, you've got to experience it. Here in the Houston area, he performs around a lot of different areas, whether it be out in, the Richmond area, Katy, Sugarland, Cypress, Tomball, different places out here, guys. Waller County, I'm in. He's always out there in different places, different venues. So look him up and get an opportunity to go check him out, man. You're gonna get a great show from this guy right here in this group. So he's got some dates that we can share with everybody out there also
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
That they're watching us, to share some dates with them. You got a few gigs coming up.
I do. I would say, uh, March March the 20th. It's going to be at the Lone Star Saloon in Richmond. All right, Lone Star Saloon. That's going to be a good one. All right, that's going to be the show to catch. Okay. If you're in Louisiana, I would say April 2nd at the Golden Nugget. April 2nd. Let's see. Or March the 21st at Scotty's Saloon. That's in Katy.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'll be singing for all the people I normally see at the grocery store and church.
Once you honk on the road to get out the way or hurry up and move. No,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the funny thing that happens in my neighborhood because they don't, um, I don't, I don't really tell my neighbors what I do. They just know me as the guy that teaches their kids taekwondo at the YMCA. They don't know what my, what my main, one of my main endeavors is, which is music. They don't know that. They just think I'm a MMA teacher, right? Which I am, but I'm also a musician. That's why I'm here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know that. So when I'm doing a venue that's in Katy, whether it be Moe's Place or Scotty's Saloon, they walk in, they see me on the stage because it's a restaurant. When the bands first start playing, people are still eating. They're still eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
In some places, so they walk in, they see me, and they're like, "Yeah, what are you doing here? What does it look like I'm doing here?" you know, I'm on the stage singing a song, and these people know who you are. I'm like, they paid $5 or $10 at the door, so so I don't go around going, "Hey, neighbor, come see my band." I just it's my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular time in Katy, I'll be over at Scotty's. So if you're in the area, stop by and say hello.
Definitely, guys.
In
Go out there.
your dancing shoes,
Mm-hmm.
your dancing sunglasses.
Your dancing chocolates. Make sure they got double straps on those suckers. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I made. My boots are steel toes, so are my chocolates. My chocolates are steel toes.
Yeah, it's gonna be some shows, man. He's got coming up, guys. So if you get the opportunity, go out there, swing by, and give him a follow as well on his social media platforms. I mean, it's YouTube, everything, you guys. He's got videos up there at the Min. You guys can go out there and check out as well from his previous songs. A lot of his songs that he's got. A lot of great videos out there from previous shows that he has performed at as well. Some clips here and there. You guys got to check them out. I do love the one. Devil, the one you did, the little clip there. I just can't get enough of that one there that you did. I'm not sure where that one was. Yeah, was that in Louisiana?
That was in
that?
Louisiana, and that's how, I filmed that at the Golden Nugget Casino. But I always end my shows with that song because I always say that. And someone's actually written a song titled this recently. Very talented musician that Texas country singer. But I always say, the devil came down to Texas and got a butt whooping, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go into the story, and uh, and oh, and uh, this is the guitar that I'm playing on. This is the one that I built myself. And these burn marks, represent the battle, right, with the
Yeah.
devil. Because the devil always lurks. You know, there's the adversity that he places in front of you, and what
Mm-hmm.
um, an adverse effect of that is that he makes you stronger. It makes you better, so that you. So when he thinks he's bringing you down, you can be brought down if you believe that. If you believe that he's bringing you down, or if you believe that he's not, either way, you're right. It's all about your faith. It's all about what you believe. So I'm like, bring
Right.
it on.
Bring it
Let's
on.
go. You know, turn my lights off, or tow my car, tow my truck. By the way, my truck when I played the rodeo, buddy of
Mm-hmm.
mine, Matt, I know you're listening, brother. Said, hey, park over here at the because we were in a hurry, right? He said, hey, park over here at the Ross, right? You know, and I said, dude, why don't let's just get the parking passes that you got from the client, so that we can go in there and set up and do the deal. He's like, no, I couldn't get him on the app or whatever the case it was. So just park here, you'll be fine. I'll do it all the time. I said, sure, okay, fine. So I parked at Ross, went inside, used the restroom, came out. I didn't have my glasses on, right? Come out of Ross, got in the truck, burned off, went and did the gig. People loved it, right? Rodeo was over for that particular day. Went back to the parking lot of Ross, no truck. No truck, no truck inside.
Wow.
And I went, oh, good Lord. My truck got stolen. And that was my work truck. So I thought, well, you know, it was an income generating asset, but technically it wasn't worth all that much money. You know, just buy another one. You know, try to make the
Mm-hmm.
best of it. So we called around. And we realized it had gotten towed, and I'm thinking, how, there's no signs anywhere. And then I rolled the window down, just tinted glass, and there were signs everywhere. There were signs everywhere. I'm thinking, how the heck, how did I miss that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the devil got me on that day, but I made the best of it. Right. The very
Mm-hmm.
next day, I got out of impound, and the young lady behind the counter, it was her birthday, and I sang happy birthday to her, and I made her feel good, and she said, I don't normally experience uh, people coming to get their vehicles that are that kind, and you can only imagine someone gets their car towed, they're going to be pretty pissed off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the easiest thing to do, is to be negative when you're in that sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the devil right there. Well, what do? You flip it around, and you flip
Yeah.
it around. Yeah, it cost me about half of what I made that day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. I'll make some more the next day.
Yeah.
But so at the end, so when I'm playing "Devil Down to Georgia," which is always the last song of the night, that or "Freebird," I do one of the two. But when I do "Devil Down to Georgia," I always say, this is uh, the battle axe that represents that
Uh-huh.
moment. I've still got that golden guitar that lives right underneath my bed. And truthfully, I do have a gold guitar under my bed, not gold, right? But it's just another one that I made. That's a replica of this one, but it's all gold, right? With gold
Mm-hmm.
accessories. Not really my style, but I do that to memorialize how I feel, about life. Devil came down to Texas and got an ass whooping because uh, he tries to throw you off kilter. You
Yeah.
know, he tries to redirect you from whatever your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't allow it. So I pull this out, and this is the one that I play, my absolute favorite guitar.
Wow.
It's probably my least expensive one because I made it myself. It was the wood, and then of course the hardware, and I put it together. And I got lucky. It plays very well. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's it right
that's the
there.
battle axe right there.
Yeah.
This is how the devil received his butt whooping right here.
Uh-huh. Amazing right
That's
there,
what the
guys.
flames represent too, by the way. You always see
Yeah.
flames in my artwork and my logo. That represents that particular moment. So that's why I do it. Yeah. You see
Yeah.
someone else do it, like we see other artists do it. I don't know why they do it, but that's why I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like yeah, you're right about that. There's a lot of artists that do it, but you have a story to yours right there. So
Right.
that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna say hello to some people out there that are tuned in right quick. We got Luis Garcia. He's tuned in right there. He says
Hey, brother.
saludos.
Right on.
Yes. Lupe Liscano is also from Toledo, Ohio, is listening in
Hey,
there.
all
So,
right. Yeah.
David Vela, also from watching from Oakland, is tuned
Yes,
in.
sir. Hey, David.
And we got so Janie, also Ariano says hello. I love the music.
Thank you
Good
so
deal.
much. Thank you very much for that.
Yes, yes. And is that Gene Luna, brother Eric?
Gene, what's up, brother? My boy, that's my Baturista brother right there.
Yeah.
So one of the best drummers. If you ever get a chance to go and experience Lewis's version of Fiona, Gene's a drummer. He's absolutely his whole family. By the way, he comes out of the same kind of family that I do, which is, um, and he's so blessed and so lucky to be able to be in a band uh, with his brothers. And they've got a few bands, and one of them is with Lewis, but they
Hmm.
have other bands that they participate in or they've created on the side. And man, they just really help each other with their craft, and their whole family's very talented. Actually, he's a good dude. He's a
Awesome,
good dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's there you go. He says appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Good deal.
Mhm.
I appreciate you guys tuning into the show as well right now. My guest
Thank
tonight.
y'all. Yes, thank
Yeah.
y'all very much.
Everybody that's tuned in from everywhere, everybody that tuned in early on as well, who shared the live, we appreciate each and every one of you here on Tejano Time Podcast. So we definitely want to know what's next for you, Sean. What's next? What do you got cooking?
You know,
I know. Well, let me just say this right quick before I didn't mean to interrupt you, but before I know you spoke about it, and you have a plan for a video also
yeah,
for another song that I want to get to here in just a few minutes as well. New Kind of Rebel. So there was another video that you had some ideas and things that you were
yeah,
trying to put
yeah.
together as well.
There's a few things that are going to happen in the very near future, and one of them is filming. I made a decision to film a video on it. Now I do video myself for other artists and short films, and of course my YouTube channels, and I have a couple of them. I'm very much into cinematic video. I have been, and it's yet another thing that keeps my hands busy and it keeps me sober. I film video promo videos for other artists and other bands and music
Hmm.
videos for them as well. But if I'm actually in the video, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
film it while I pull it off because there's a lot of things that I can do. I have several cameras and you can keyframe things, and I have body cams and all the stuff that I do because I make mountain bike videos, and I have
Hmm.
a GoPro on my helmet, and I just have so much fun with it. Right? It's my version of cardio because some of you guys may like to jog, but I don't. So I get out and mountain bike and I experience nature, and I tell my neighbors, and some of them don't know that there's in the woods behind the house, you're going to see bobcats, you're going to see feral pigs, you're going to see coyotes, you're going to see,
Yeah.
and then when you get down to the swamp, where Mason Creek right before it runs back and the different where it branches off goes to Buffalo Bayou and everything else. There's a big
Mhm.
swamp back there, and I'm back there all the time. There's mountain bike trails that only the mountain bike, not the hikers, but only the mountain bikers go through there. And it's not very well known, but when you tell your neighbors what's back there, they don't, they know they live in the suburbs, but they don't realize that they're actually living in the woods. We're living in their territory,
Hmm.
so especially in the swamp, the biggest gator that I've ever seen was not at the zoo. It wasn't. It was in the swamp behind the house. Yeah, it was pretty
Wow.
amazing. See, all the
Yeah.
time beavers. You see beavers back there. They have Texas beavers, they look a little bit different. Their tail is thinner, but it's
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
most adorable little things. It's you see all kinds of stuff back there. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I forgot where I was going with it, but
We were on the subject of the video.
oh, the video. Okay,
Yes.
so I decided because uh, I can't film it myself. right? Other than doing my videos that I was just telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm going to get a film crew out. And the script has already been written, and we're going to film a video for a New Kind of Rebel, and it's going to be very creative. And I'm gonna have you guys wait on the content of that video so that you'll be certain to watch it.
Yeah.
It'll be something to see, and it's another side of me that I'm excited to share with everyone. It's just some things that I'm into, and you'll see it in the video.
There you go. So be on the lookout for that too as well. A lot of stuff, a lot of great things happening, in the near future. Again, videos, performances, of course, are always going to be there for him, here and around the city, Louisiana and whatnot. So be on the lookout for those dates as well. Give him a follow on his social media pages, guys. I know you're on Facebook. You're on, of course, YouTube. A lot of your stuff is on YouTube. I mean, give a follow there. Facebook. Are you on Instagram as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So just give him a follow. Wherever he posts his show dates and new music and all that stuff, you'll get it, guys.
Sure.
If you got, follow him on all his platforms. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that you just nailed it. One of my absolute favorite phrases is why not? Sometimes people will ask you, why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. Why are you going fishing on Sunday, or why are you going, out to see whatever band it may be? Why are you walking in the rain, or whatever the case is? The real question is why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Straightforward right there. Yeah. Well, let's take a listen to New Kind of Rebel right there. Let's go ahead and check that on out right now before we close things out here in just a little bit. So we got some more stuff that we'll talk about here when we get back right now, guys. So check out this other track right now. It's also available for you guys to go and stream. Okay. It's available on all digital platforms. New Kind of Rebel right here with the Xian Eric Band right here on Tejano Time Podcast. We'll be right back.
Dusty old record player, dusty old wall. Granddad had a story behind them songs. Well, I was born a boogie, but I don't do this for fun. 24/7 ain't gonna outwork me, son. I got your outlaw, like when the angels fell. Behind this old gray beard, I'm so prettier than hell. I am what I am, and that's all that'll be. I've covered Haggard Jones, Cashin, or yours cover 3. But I'll never be the same, I just gotta be me. Those of the brave and the land of the free. I might have been pretty long time, but won't think all been true. I was hungry when country wasn't cool. Just like Jones, yes, Hank 1, 2, and 3. You would never met a man quite like me. And your face done exercise the devil. But it's time for a new kind of rebel. Like I say, it's the engine, not the arrow. No matter where you're at, I hope you brought your custom shop strat. I'll bring a Squire, pick any song you know. I walk the line every single time, I'll get it done, or I'll die trying. So pull up, cause I know that judge ain't blind. The only guarantee in life is someday it will end. Don't bring your friends, don't bring your toys, and you better bring your boys. But this time I got a feel in my core. I was ready, long time, but won't think I've been through. I was hungry when country wasn't cool. Just like Jones, yes, Hank 1, 2, and 3. You would never met an outlaw get started. Look out, y'all. But it's time for a new kind of rebel.
New Kind of Rebel right there. That is the another song there, another track that was released not too long ago. I would say probably less than a year ago. I would say about 8-9 months ago, maybe or so. It's been out. So that's another track that you guys can add to your playlist if you haven't already. All right, guys?
Please do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Celebrate that song with me.
Yeah.
For
There
sure.
you go. And again, that song, along with the new song that you have right now, as the Firewater, is doing very well for you. You know, I mean, I know you said you've got some country stations already picking up on the songs, so that's amazing right there. You know, and it's what it's all about, man. Again, you provide the lyrics with all your songs when you send them to. That's amazing. A lot of people don't do
yeah.
that. A lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of bands or
here's
groups.
why. The reason why I do that is because I think, and your platform, by the way, is one of the best ways to fulfill a basic human need, and what it is just the ability to be heard.
Hmm.
Everyone has something to say. You can learn. And I've gotten better at this, but and I wasn't so good at it when I was young. But I realized that you can learn so many things from just about anybody by just listening.
Hmm.
Could you imagine? Everyone has a different story. Everyone does. I mean,
Hmm.
some of the coolest things come out of, and I don't mean this with a negative connotation. But, some of the coolest things come out of the most unlikely people,
Hmm.
and the reverse of that. Sometimes some of the most surface level, um, superficial things come out of people that you would expect more depth. But what I truly think is they're just holding back. That's what I think.
Hmm.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of times people are afraid to say what they really mean, but because they're afraid that it'll fall on deaf ears. I've experienced that too. I always have a lot to say, as you can tell, because I'm always long-winded. But I have a lot to say. But there has been an occasion where it would fall on deaf ears, and I thought, well, the better way to do it is to put it in the song and make the song good. That's the
Hmm.
easy part. Just do what you do, and people will hear what you have to say. You know,
Yeah.
and when they come to you, like I said that that one particular young lady. I say young lady, but she's about my age, and I would say, like I am, she's young at heart. But she had experienced something similar to the story in Firewater. She could relate to it, and she just wanted to let me know and show some appreciation for writing a story that made her feel, or both of us feel like we weren't so much by ourselves when it comes to that.
Hmm.
And what you do, you're heard, brother. You're talking to so many people all the time.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. People get to hear what you have to say.
Hmm.
So to anyone else that they ask me, I would say, people get to hear. what you want to say,
Yeah.
than say what you want them to hear.
Exactly. Yeah. Point right there. Yeah, you're very true about that, man. True that. So, the new songs that you got right now, Sean, are performing those songs versus performing the other songs that you had. I mean, compare those versus your older material. What do you like to perform more than some of the new stuff? Does it hit you different than your previous songs that you got out?
Yeah, yeah, because my life has changed. So,
Hmm.
um, because my life has changed, I'm no longer uh, in the place that I was when I wrote the older stuff. But this is what I do now.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that I don't like those songs, but those songs are just. In fact, I love those songs, just like I love the songs from La Fiebre. I love those songs, because certainly at that time, back then,
Hmm.
being in the studio and I'm going to put a sax solo right here, and the guys were like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, right there, but that's where the sax is going." And I would go, "I got the whole arrangement in my head," and they used to make fun of me. I got the whole arrangement in my head. They used to do that, right? If they're, and you did. If you're listening, they would make because I was the youngest. I was a kid, 17, 18 years old, and you're 17, 18 years old in a major recording studio with a major record label. You know, hey man, I didn't. When it came to certain things, I didn't care. I just wanted to do what I did. And one of my favorite things to hear back then, and even to this day, I love hearing this when maybe another musician or another artist or person who, yeah, they say, yeah, but you know, uh, country singers don't do that, right? Or for
Hmm.
years, I spent a lot of years as a bass player also, right? And someone who I have a lot of respect for, by the way, as a bass player. Um, yeah, that's cool, but bass players don't do that. And I'd be like, yes, I love it. Because somebody did something for the first time, and then others followed suit. And then that became standard. But it was that one dude that did that, who
Hmm.
was brave enough to step outside of his shell, outside the box, if you will, to step outside of his shell and be brave enough to be so expressive and so honest
Hmm.
to do what he truly felt in his heart without the record label. So I don't have a record label now. I could, but I don't have a record label now, so I can do whatever that
Yeah, of
without
course.
anybody filtering it out. There's some radio stations that would say, "Hey, chop it up and maybe make it short." Okay, fine. Click, click, click. So I have a studio. I've been doing that forever for other people and myself. There you go. Right, the radio version. Okay,
Hmm. Yeah.
we got to have it within 3 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. Well, nowadays you push a button. Hey Siri, make this song 3 minutes. 30. Done. Whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Um, but it was those people that were innovative enough, and certainly, and let me go way back. Ooh, I'm so excited to talk about this. I'm going to go way back, and they would say this: trumpet players don't do that. I'm so excited you said that because I'm about ready to do the heck out of it, over and over and over again. And this is what happened. Um, that's what we became known for, and there were a lot to this day. And you know who you are that follow suit and do the same thing. To be in a position where you can break the mold, not for the sake of breaking the mold, but
Hmm.
for the sake of being completely and unapologetically honest when it comes to your art, without having to cater to the people that are funding it. Or I don't need that anymore, or the people uh, that are gatekeeping the distribution of it.
Hmm.
When you do not have to do that. Of course, I'm 17, 18 years old. I didn't realize the consequences of not following the rules. I didn't. I was that dude. I was an old kind of rebel, I suppose you could say back then. Um, but I would just do it. And there had been a couple times. Oh, I remember one particular time. I'm excited to tell the story too. We were Fielder was in San Antonio. We were staying at one of our favorite places. It was a hotel in San Antonio. was a Holiday Inn, I think. A very nice place, very nice Holiday Inn. And sometimes we play a gig in San Antonio, and then we would just stay there for the week. And we all, well, I can't say we all were, but I certainly was in a position to where I could just stay there, do the gigs and
Mhm.
stay there for the week and be a, rock star or whatever. Um, and we would, uh, it would be a tiny vacation for us. And um, we were recording, I don't remember what record it was. I believe that it was 9/11. No, 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 no. Yes, it was 9/11. We were recording 911, excuse me.
Mhm.
And I was doing, no, we were recording the video for one of the songs off of 911. And I had pneumonia, right? Um, but back then I had pneumonia. I'd still go to the gym, I'd still go do all the thing. I still do the shows. I wasn't going to whine about it. I was on a mission.
Yeah.
I was on a mission to express myself and change the world, by God. That's just how I was. And to do something, honestly, to do something at that level back then, for the impact that the band that I was part of had back then, you could not just casually show up to work, watch the clock, stare at your watch, waiting for it to clock out for lunch, take long breaks. You couldn't half butt anything at all whatsoever. You had to full blast it because my dad used to say, you do what you can, when you can, while you can, because nothing is forever, boy. And I would say that I agree with him for the most part. But
Mhm.
you go on YouTube right now and you'll see millions of views or streams on all the same songs that I recorded with the guys back then. Right? And that music is still celebrated because it's part of people's lives. And to a very large degree, I didn't realize it. I do now, But I remember I was sick, so we were filming the video, but I was sick. That doesn't mean that I didn't go, and hang out with girls at the bar and do whatever. You know what I mean? Not,
Yeah.
it didn't mean that I didn't do that. It just means that I was sick, and whenever I could get some rest, I would. So they decided to film that video. Go just move forward, film it because we were on a budget, on a time crunch. Film it without me, right? So they filmed the video without me, and on my sax parts and my sax solo, uh, they had a silhouette version of Lewis playing the sax solo. And my brother's in great shape. He is. In fact, he still is. He's in his 60s, and he's a great example for fitness, by the way. Uh,
Mhm.
but our silhouettes now and then, it's totally different. I've got a particular walk that everybody makes fun of, and and we're just shaped different. So you could obviously tell, it was brutally obvious that it was not me, right? So I saw some of the clips, from the videographer, and I had me some soup and some Advil and some Bear aspirin. That was the thing back then. And I said, let's go to downtown San Antonio, find a location, and film me playing that sax solo.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Are you sure about this?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not sure at all." Yeah, I have no idea how it's going to, because I didn't know anything about. I do now, because I've been in the film business for a while. But then I didn't have. I just knew that I was very, very interested. Extremely interested in filming. And he was a seasoned shredder by that time. The videographer was.
Mhm.
So we went out into San Antonio. We found a very dark alley that just so happened to have just the right lighting. It wasn't his light. If you look at that video, it's a song called "Ben Conmigo."
Ven
Is the name of the song.
conmigo.
Yeah, the sax solo in the center. I had like 102 fever or something like that. Imagine that fever. I had 102 fever or something. It was very high. Um, but I was at my peak of health and fitness at the time, so I could handle it. But I just wanted to make sure that it was me in the video playing my not some new sub or not some guy who's filling in for me or not their latest sax player, whoever. No, me, my solo, my music, whatever. I wanted to make sure that was the case. So
Yeah.
we found the alley. It had the perfect lighting. We filmed it, and I'm half near passing out doing it, but we filmed it, and that video came out immaculate. So if you ever see that video, it cuts to a scene in the middle where I'm playing the sax solo, which is done probably at 3:30 in the morning, probably. It was a very quiet. The weather was perfect. The lighting was immaculate, and the video was even better.
Wow. Yeah. That definitely was. That was. I want to say 90. Oh, 95 maybe. I want to say that's when that
94,
94,
94. I'd say
94.
late 93, early 94. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was. The weather was cool, so I would say it would have been early 94, maybe February-ish. You know,
Yeah.
something like that.
Wow. So yep, and it's I'm sure it's out there. It'll surface somewhere, probably on YouTube, if anything, huh?
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, with however many million of views.
Views.
You know, I hope the guys are are getting residuals off of that. I sure the hell ain't. But I do know this is I was able to document that, and that music is being shared with people who truly appreciate it. And a lot of times, that's enough for me. And I would say almost. I have another endeavor that I'm working on now that touches on what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and I suppose we'll get to that in a minute, depending on how much time you got left.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we can touch on it right now if you like. I mean, we got
Okay.
plenty of time. Yeah.
I've been doing uh, country music my entire life. Even but before Fiesta, there was a place when I was a teenager I used to play at a place called Sherwood's, and it was on Spencer in Pasadena. And the guy that owned that ended up owning Gillies after a while. So I did a couple of gigs over at Gillies as well. And I was always at the time the youngest guy in the band. I was as a guitar player. They didn't know that I played horns, but as a guitar player I was. And I remember I eventually play over at Gillies with Fievre, if you can imagine that. I mean, we're in Pasadena, so is Gillies.
Mhm.
It's the pride of Pasadena. There's a day that is dedicated. I don't remember what it may something may. I should know this, but it's one of the days of May, I believe, and it's called Fievre Day. Fievre Day, and they probably told you about this. I don't know if they did or
Mhm.
not, but
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say talk about anything. So I'll say
Yeah.
there's a whole day dedicated to that. And so, of course, we're going to play at Gillies. So we did. I remember going back and I saw some of the old cats from the day, and they weren't expecting the Tejano band to be there. And some of the musicians that I played with, and they saw me on the stage with them. They're like, "Are you playing the trumpet?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "What do you?" They didn't really get it because it was a country bar. We were playing Tejano at the time. They saw me. They knew me as the kid who I was at the time playing guitar. Um, but even back then, you know the impact that music had uh has a lot of influence on what I do, but most of it is I do things on my own accord, my own style, my own thing. I think I always have. I've never been the easiest guy to be in a band with because I'm always pushing for the next thing, and that's
Mhm.
probably what was pushing things towards a catalyst with my departure from Fievre, because I wanted this. And uh, for the sheer reason that I just wanted to keep on progressing in a particular area, and it was a different direction.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I do know this: those songs are very special, and they're special to thousands of people. And sometimes when I talk to people, they want to hear me uh, participate in playing those songs. And there's only one way to do that, you know, um, as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
And number two, and the other reason why I'm about to say this is a lot of times when I'm uh, playing my music, I want to be able to share the music with uh, with with La Raza, which is what I'm doing now, and I appreciate you for that.
Mhm.
When I'm doing these old honky tonks, a lot of times, it, you know, uh, Raza doesn't necessarily. Attend those particular places. There are some that they absolutely do, because I was when I was young, when I was younger, first got into Tejano music, it was always Wedo this and What was the other one? Oh, Redneck Skin. That's what he's going. He's going Redneck Skin. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like, and there's a lot of us, I would say, that we grew up that particular way. We'll listen to Ramon Ayala followed by Merle Haggard. Nine Ways to Sunday all the time. That's just how life was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll do. I'll pick up my guitar right now and do a Willie Nelson song, but if Ramon Ayala, I'll be throwing a grito like everybody else. It's just that's how it is, right?
That's how it is. Yeah.
So I don't, what if I absolutely love what I do and the way that I do it, but I think that in a sense, there's a part of me that believes that I may be leaving, uh, a certain part of my people out that they don't have access to that. So this is what I've decided to do. Here it is. The name of my parallel band, which is the Sean Eric Band, and I have a a different crew. I call them the Browns. That's my nickname for them. Playing the Sean Eric music, but they're my brothers. But I call them the Browns. I have two versions of it. This parallel band will be coming to a city near you, in a venue near you. First one will be on Cinco de Mayo, and I will announce that very, very soon as soon as I sign a contract. Okay. Cinco de Mayo falls on a Tuesday, I believe. Right. I said the first one that's close to here. I have other ones in San Antonio and Dallas, but first one here, Cinco de Mayo. I will be doing my set, my Sean Eric music, my Sean Eric Jimenez music, right? For half of the set. The other half of the set, I'll be playing Fiebre songs.
Wow.
And obviously, I'm the singer. I know how the songs go. I sing them all the time.
Yeah.
And the name of that band is called Sean Eric Jimenez y La Cura.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
Sean Eric Jimenez y La Cura.
La Cura.
Mm-hmm. As far as La Cura for what, I suppose you could speculate. But it's Sean Eric Jimenez and the Cure in English. In English.
In English, yeah.
But I'll be doing, all the, Si Mañanas and all of the Borracho de Besos and Primer Amores and all the stuff that you guys are very familiar with, which I'm assuming that's part of the reason why y'all are watching right now is because, I'm the guy that was the sax player on all the hits that we had put out. I was the trumpet player on all the hits that we had put out. Now, this is back in the day. Honestly, the newer hits that they have, and I'm sure that there's some, I'm just not familiar with them. I wasn't part of that. So you won't hear me doing any of those songs. But La Cura will be doing all, I remember the set, how it goes, by the way. So I suppose you could say,
Yeah.
I suppose you could say from this point forward, and this is my parallel band, right? With when I go do my honky tonks with the band that I'm with now, then when I'll go do it, with the VFWs and the KC Halls and all the places that we celebrate at, you will be seeing La Cura play all those songs. And I'm so very excited to pick up my sax again and do it. I'm so very excited to pick up my trumpet again and do it. And then, of course, you're going to hear all the Neon Moons and the, Get You Homes and Poncho and Lefties and all the songs that I do on a nightly basis that I normally do with my country stuff. And especially my new kind of Rebels, the Firewater, and all my singles that I've released recently, Butterfly, Just One, and all these songs that my particular audience has been enjoying for quite some time. I'm going to be able to perform those songs and also perform my songs from the past and allow, both demographics to come together, and their commonality always, people ask me all the time, you play country music, what kind of music you played before? And I said, well, I've always played country music, but I've done lots of things here. They say, where heard you play that old Tejano music, right? I'm like, yeah, I do. So, well, you're playing country now. I go, let me explain something to you. Tejano is country. Tejano is country music. It's Texas country. It's not,
Mm.
you know, Minnesota. Now, no offense to people in Minnesota who celebrate Tejano music. There's a lot of people, but it's called Tejano music. Translate that directly into English. That's Tex
Texas.
Mex. That's what we
Yeah.
are. And people say, "Hey, where are you from?" Uh, well, I kind of grew up in the Clear Lake area, down that area, South Fork,
Mhm.
uh, down towards the water. Well, no, where are you from? Well, from Texas. Okay, well, where are your parents from? Well, they're from Texas. Okay, well, where are your grandparents from? They're from Texas.
Mhm.
Oh, well, which one of y'all are from Mexico? None of us. We're from Texas. We're Tejano. It's a whole different outfit. It
Yeah.
is, it's brown Texas country, which is when people ask me what kind of music I do now. Texas country. Really, because in one form or fashion, I always have. If you ever, it was just another, you know,
Yeah.
my jeans and boots back in the day, it wasn't cosplay. It
Yeah.
wasn't because it was a rodeo season. It was because that's who we are.
Yeah.
That's who we are. That's who
Yeah.
you are. You are who you are. You can try to change it. I don't know why you would unless you're trying to change for the better. But my point of all this is um, for me to play the new songs that I play now on a parallel band, by the way, when
Mhm.
it's announced and marketed that particular way at a venue, which will be half the hunt on the other, country and southern rock and other things that I do. It will be La Cura, right? Because people have been asking me, for quite some time.
Mhm.
Uh, so this will allow me to do both, and it'll allow the audiences to come together and share the commonality, which is just being from Texas.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm definitely excited about that. I would definitely like to check that out.
Yeah,
There's no doubt. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, coming to a venue very soon near you.
So stay
Sean Eric
tuned.
Jimenez y La Cura.
There
Check
you
it out.
go. Stay tuned to that, and stay tuned to Houston's Tejano Hits, Tejano Time. We're gonna have all that information for you guys
Get
as it
that.
develops in the future. So stay close to that as well. But I want to touch with on a comment right quick. Eric, here we got Mr. Julian Gonzalez says, "Saludos, guys."
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
he's there with Luis Ayala's Fiebre, and he's playing
yeah,
accordion, obviously. Yes,
yeah. That
definitely.
young man's got some wiggly fingers. Yeah,
He says here, "Thank you, Eric, for what you did for the band. It probably wouldn't have been what it is or what it was if it wasn't for you and Lewis." So it's just my opinion, he says.
you're welcome, my brother, from the bottom of my heart. And thanks for carrying on the legacy. And as I always say, keep the fire burning.
Yeah. And he also says this here, how long were, the question is, how long were you or how long were you with La Fiebre?
Well, I'm so excited that that I get to answer that question, right? And I'll try and make it short. Okay.
You're good, brother. You're good.
How long how long was I with Lafayette? Every time you listen to a song like Eres mi primer amor, right? Or Si Mañana, or Borracho de Besos, or Solo un Sueño, or any of those songs. That's me on the recording, which means to some degree I'm still with them.
Yeah.
As far it was so when you listen to that song on the radio, which you spin on your show, um, I'm still there. At least because I'll always be the person that did that. But technically, I would say from 88 to 95, and then my second time was probably 2000 because we did a Rio Unidos record. I would say 2000. Oh, when was that? 2003 to 2007, I think. I don't remember exactly. because that time was fairly filtered. That time was specifically a reemergence of what we had done before, and it was a celebration of the pre of it was kind of a back in the day kind of a deal.
Hmm.
So we did put a record out, and half of that was recorded at a recording studio that I used to own called Z Lab. And if you flip on the back, it says, this and whatever was recorded at Z Lab Recordings in Houston, Texas, which is a studio that I owned at the time. So it was twice, and I would say collectively, I don't know, 10 years ish, something like that.
Well, there you go, Julian.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I would say when the hits were written.
yeah. The
That's
hits.
how long I was there when the hits were written. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Facts. That's very true, right there.
Yeah.
So yep. And Olivia Romero también is watching the show. Thank you for watching, Olivia.
Hey, Olivia, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for
Anthony
being here.
Lozola as well. Saludos. Thank you so
All
much.
right, saludos.
Angel Jimenez, Kingsville, Texas area.
All right. Jimenez. Represent.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely.
With a J, a G, or an X?
With a Jimenez is with a J. Yeah, with a J.
Yes, sir, brother. Right on.
Hmm. Yes, and she's actually a mariachi artist there locally from Kingsville area, who's
Oh, wow.
done some stuff with Shelly Lattice, Shell Shock Records as well. So
I'd
she
love to
was.
hear it. I'd love to hear it. I'm sorry that I if I haven't heard it, I'm sorry I haven't heard it. I would love to hear it. Send it directly to my email or hit me up on Facebook or something and share that with me. I'd love to celebrate it with you.
There you go. You got that info right there, Angel. You're watching the show. Appreciate you. Just definitely, inbox him on your music. There, he would love to hear it. So yeah. So good deal, man. Thank everybody out there. Thank you so much who tuned into the show tonight, man. That's my guest right here. That's Mr. Jimenez himself, Sean Eric band, guys. Yeah. Coming real soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Coming soon, guys.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. We're going to be looking out for that in the future. In the meantime, he does have some gigs that are up and coming this week. Next weekend, I believe, there in Katy, Texas, Scotty's Saloon, right? And Katy. And then you got another one in, I believe you said, was it Richmond?
In Richmond, which is the day before, which is the 20th and 21st. And at Lone Star Saloon in Richmond, that's gonna be a great one. Both of them really.
Mm.
And then in Louisiana, at the Golden Nugget on the 2nd. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about all of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I still, I haven't for quite some time since I started doing the music that I love, the way that I love to do it. I haven't had that feeling where on occasion sometimes you would, get that feeling of you got to do what you just got to do it, right? It's been so much lately, and I mean this next phrase from the heart is I get to do what I get to do.
Mm-hmm.
That song hasn't been written yet, but it's about ready to get written. I get to do what I get to do. I'm so, I could not fathom complaining. I couldn't fathom wanting to complain about you go up and you sing your favorite songs, half of which you've written, and someone cuts you a check. Blows my mind. Still blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful. I'm so very thankful.
Nice. Some good stuff right there. Great stuff. And this guy is always a great guy to have on the show, man. So this is the third time he's on the show, and I can guarantee you guys, I guarantee you right now, he'll be back for a fourth time. There's no doubt about that. Always a great guest when I do have him here. A lot of stories. He loves to talk, and I love that about him, because it makes my job easier. But I enjoy having him on the show. He does share a lot of great stuff, a lot of great stories that he personal experiences at that. You know what I mean, and that's always true. And it helps a lot of folks out there as well. That are tuned into the show when they listen and when he talks. It's a great thing. You know what I mean. So we appreciate each and everybody, every one of you guys that tuned in and shared the live tonight. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure Stay X appreciates it as well. Go out there and stream his music, guys. It's available on all streaming platforms as well. Go out there, Spotify, Apple Music, all the platforms. It's there. Search his music, add it to your playlist, and be out on the lookout for La Locura también. It's going to be coming very, very soon to a venue near you guys. All right, so be on the lookout. Follow his page so you'll get all that info, man. Definitely. And X, again, man, I couldn't thank you more enough for being on the show. You're always welcome back. The door's always open. You already know, to share your story and your music and everything with our viewers out there, everybody on our YouTube channel, everybody that watches from all over. We definitely love to have you back in the future once again to share more of what you got cooking.
Appreciate it, brother.
No problem. We'll see you real soon. Any shout outs you want to go before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to everyone who's been supportive over the years, and thank you for making any music that I participated in, any art that I've had the pleasure of co-creating. I want to thank you for making that part of your life soundtrack, and which has led me to the decision that I just made recently. I'm going to bring some of that music directly to almost your front door, and I'm excited to perform it for you. Thank you for allowing me to do that.
Yeah. Be on the lookout, guys. I'm excited about it, man. I cannot wait for that to happen right there. And but in the meantime, you can go out there and stream this guy's song right here. Check this out, man. This is his brand new single. It's out everywhere, man. Fire Water is the name of the tune, all right? It's a new release. It's out there, available on Spotify, Music, Apple Music, YouTube. Go out there and get it and add it to your playlist. And he's fiddling around there with the guitar. So you got something you want to share with everybody before we go?
No, I love you guys. Thank y'all for everything. Thanks for allowing me to exist the way that I do. If it wasn't for people that supported my art, I wouldn't be able to eat this way. And there isn't a day that goes by, certainly recently, that I'm not having the time of my life. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, you have a great night, my brother, and. Again, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch, very, very soon. And, we'll hope to see you out there at one of the shows very, very soon, también as well.
Sure.
Man. So you have a great night, my brother. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Yes, sir. God bless you too, bro. We'll see you.